Hello, welcome to another video. Sorry it's been so long since my last video. I've been practicing a lot with the brass band at my school. We have a concert on next Friday, so I've been practicing with them a lot in preparation for that. But I had a little bit of free time now, so I thought I would make a video that I've been planning for a while, talking about the teachers I work with. I thought now would be a good time because in April, in Japan, some of the teachers switch jobs, so they might switch grade level, so they might teach a different grade, or they might become a homeroom teacher and you won't work with them. So I'm going to be switching teachers in April, so I thought now would be a good time to make the impressions about my first round of teachers. Being an ALT, you work with many different teachers and you teach many different classes, and a lot of the teachers have very different teaching styles, and that's my case. I have a bunch of different types of teachers. So, let's get started. In my first school, I teach 5 classes, and I teach with 3 teachers. The first teacher, in Sensei, I teach 3 classes with him. All of the classes I teach at my H high school are all first year, and they all teach the same lesson. And In-sensei is the teacher who makes the plan for what we are going to teach. So he tells me we're going to teach conversation about restaurants today. Please make a plan. So I'll make a worksheet and give it to him, and he'll say, okay, this is really good, so let's do it. In-sensei is very organized. His classes are very structured and almost very serious, so very tightly wound, and the students either feel not comfortable enough to be outgoing, or they feel so uncomfortable that they act out, and it kind of disrupts class a little bit. But In-sensei is a great teacher to work with. I love working with him because he's one of the few teachers who actually embrace the team teaching aspect behind the ALT and JTE, or Japanese Teacher of English, between that relationship. So he actually team teaches with me rather than says, okay, teach your lesson and I'll translate when I need to. So I enjoy teaching with him because it's very interactive. H-sensei is another teacher I work with. She is younger, and she's very active outside, so she likes to surf and she likes to hike, and she's invited me to do both of those with her. So she's interested in much of the things that I'm interested in, making it very easy to work with her, making it very easy to get along with her. She's a lot more laid back than In-sensei, so because of this, the students feel a little more laid back, so they don't act out as much, because they feel more comfortable in her classes, and they feel comfortable enough to talk at least a little bit. She doesn't team teach as much as In-sensei does, but she does give some input to the lesson, so it makes it very good and not entirely me-oriented. My next teacher at H High School is A-sensei. She is very, very quiet, almost shy seeming, and I was kind of concerned that the students would walk all over her because of this, but it's actually quite opposite. The students in her class are some of my best students. Maybe not the best at English, but they're the students who try the hardest. A-sensei is very quiet, but she commands a certain amount of respect without being very forceful or anything, you know. The students just give her this respect. And she team teaches least of all of them because she is so quiet. If we have dialogue, she does read the dialogue with me, but she doesn't team teach so much. I really enjoy her class, though. I love working with her because her students try so hard, and because she helps them out so much that they understand most out of all of my students. So those are the teachers that I interact with very frequently at my H High School. Now on to my S High School. I teach 8 classes there. I teach 2 classes regularly, and both of those classes are with the same teacher, Kay Sensei. I work with her very regularly. I can't speak. She is like A Sensei. She's very quiet and very meek, and the students actually do kind of walk all over her a little bit. Not terribly, but just a little bit. You know, they talk during class, they K-tie during class and stuff like that. But she is a part-time teacher, so I wonder if the students' lack of respect might have a little bit to do with that. So it might be that the students, since she's only there 2 days a week, the students don't give her quite as much respect as they do with the teachers they see every single day. Her classes are really fun. I enjoy working with her. She tells me what she wants the lesson to be about, and I give her some suggestions, and then I tell her, okay, I'll make a worksheet and I'll plan the lesson and I'll email it to you. And she always, are you sure? Is there anything I could do? You know, what can I do? Please let me do something. And, you know, the lessons to me are really easy to plan. You know, I have a certification in teaching English as a foreign language. So planning lessons for teaching English as a foreign language to me are very easy to do. So it's not really a 2-person job. But every time I do, she's like, oh, you must have worked so hard on this. And whereas I do work on it, I don't work too much on it because it's easy to me. But she's very nice to work with. In the class, she helps. She translates when needed. She gets the students to communicate back with me. So if I ask them something and they don't answer, she'll ask them, okay, please respond. So working with her is very, very good. Now for my other 6 classes, I teach with 2 different teachers, 3 classes each, and they alternate classes. The first teacher I teach with is S Sensei. She's a very nice teacher and very easy to work with, but every time I'm talking English in English class, she's 3 words behind me translating into Japanese. And this is a debatable point in Japan about whether English class should be in all English. Now, I do feel the need for some Japanese because some of the English instructions my students can't understand. But if you translate behind me the entire time, then the students don't even have a chance to try to understand. And I think that if they are given that chance, then they can understand. So, whereas S Sensei is easy to work with, that one aspect of her classes make me twitch a little bit. She is the one teacher who actually does a lot of planning for the class. That's the one class that I actually don't do all of the planning. I do a lot of the planning and give it to her, and then she fills in certain gaps and changes things around. And the last teacher I work with at my S high school, his name is apparently too hard to say in even Japanese, for Japanese, so they call him Z Sensei. Now, Z Sensei is my favorite teacher to work with. He is so eccentric. He is never wearing a suit. I've never seen him wear slacks, you know. He's always wearing relaxed clothes, and he always wears sandals, even in the winter. His classes, since I'm only there once a week, the 4 classes before he teaches his lessons, and then the day I'm there, we play English games to review the 4 classes. It's questionable as to whether playing English games is actually effective, but because it is only once a week, and the other 4 days a week he's teaching them grammar and vocabulary and stuff, the 1 day a week is actually a very good reinforcement. So because we always play games, and because I don't actually have to plan anything for the class, you know, it's really laid back. He's the kind of teacher that all of the students love. All of the students love him because he's always happy. He's always in a good mood. So those are all my teachers at my high schools. Stay tuned for part 2, and I will talk about the teachers I work with at the center. Thanks for watching. Peace.